Hi everyone, my name is Fatima Miller. I am a success coach, business coach, and the author of Entrepreneurship, The Path to Prosperity, 10 Secrets to Becoming a Successful Entrepreneur. If you haven't already, take some time to click the subscribe button at the bottom of your screen so you'll know exactly when I come on live and when I upload new videos. Today we're going to be talking about what it means to take a risk in business and in life. What does that mean? What does that look like? My definition of that is either conquer or be conquered. That's very important when you're looking to step out on faith and start your new career or keep going in the career path that you've chosen, whether that be business or your 9 to 5. Taking risks can be very tricky and it can compromise a lot of things that we have. It can compromise our values. It can compromise our morals. It can compromise our family. It can compromise our finances. So is it worth it to take the risk to jump out there on Faith Street and say, hey, I want to start my own business. I want to go into business, or to keep pushing because I opened up a business and I haven't really seen the return that I thought I should when I initially started this business venture. And I'm here to tell you that absolutely, there's no secret formula to success. There's no 5-step formula to success. Success is very difficult, and if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. You know, I love Les Brown, and Les Brown often says that it's crowded at the bottom. So why would you want to be on the bottom when there's so much room to be on the top? And that's very true when you make that decision initially, if you want to take that risk or not in going into business for yourself. I took that risk in business, and that risk for me was my t-shirt line by the name of Native Chick Collection. It was a t-shirt line that I started in 2014 with only $3,000 that I took out from my MBA refund. And I started that brand from scratch. You know, I had a vision, and I decided that I was going to do something about my vision and not let my ideas sit on the shelf and just waste away and die. Whether the t-shirts made it or not in the industry, that was neither here or there or my concern. My concern was mostly to see if I had the drive and the determination and the tenacity to go after things that I felt that I wanted to do. And Native Chick Collection was my risk that I took. If you go online to my website, fatimamiller.com, you will see the book that I just released this year. And chapter 2 talks a lot about taking risks and what does it mean to take risks. For married people in business, it's a little bit more challenging when you take a risk inside business, because you're going to have to decide if you actually have the finances from your 9 to 5, or if you and your wife are going to have to sit down and talk about taking out a second mortgage on your home. And that can be scary. And as business should be, business is very scary. But business is not for the weak or faint. And I'll say that a lot when I'm speaking to you. It's for people who have courage. Success is not a lack of fear. Fear is always going to be present. But success doesn't have to be scary at the same time, if you understand what I'm saying. You have to have courage to go into business. You have to have courage to be successful. But it's not about not being scared. We all are scared of blowing away our money or not being able to pay our bills if we actually go out there on Faith Street and our business may not make it the way we intended to when we first started. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be able to be okay and live with the choices that you make when you go into business. And you have to be okay knowing that the business that you went into may not work the first, second, third, or the 50th time. So is it worth it? You ask me, Fatima. And I say yes. You'll hear me say a lot, you know, why wait till you're 40 or 50 to decide if business is for you or not? Why wait till you're 90 or 95 on your deathbed to decide that, you know what, maybe I should have took that risk in business? I often find when I'm coaching clients or speaking that many people have a fear of success. Surprisingly, absolutely. People actually have a fear that they may actually make it in business, and that scares the heck out of them. They are so nervous that, what if my idea actually works, Fatima? Then what am I going to do? I may not know how to budget my money. I've never seen a big lump sum of money before. I never made more than $50,000 on my corporate job. So what am I going to do with $100,000 or $500,000? And you're ultimately afraid and embarrassed before you even get the money. So therefore, you don't even try to go out and try to open up your own business. It's a double-edged sword. You can say, what if I am successful? And then on the other hand, you can also say, what if I fail? But the question remains with you and how you feel you can adapt to those changes in your life. But taking risks is not calculated. And you might say, well, Fatima, what does that mean when you say a calculated versus non-calculated risk? Your ultimate response or brain would tell you to say a calculated risk is much better in business than a non-calculated risk. And I want you to think about that for a little bit. There's a couple of companies out there, if they actually took a calculated risk, they would not be in business today. One, for example, would be Snuggie. It is almost impossible to believe that someone created a blanket or something that you slip your body into from fabric and actually became a millionaire from that. People would have thought that was silly. There's another company called Doggy Poo, and they go around, they scoop up poo from other dogs, and people say, that's kind of taboo, and why would someone pay you to pick up my dog poo when that was my responsibility? But if they had said, you know what, I'm going to listen to the voices of the masses, they would not be in business today, because that would seem ridiculous to most, and it would be a calculated risk. They decided to go against the norm. And when you're going into business, you're going to have to be willing to go against the grain, to go against the norm, to go against everything that you initially put in your head. You're going to have to get rid of all that. You're going to have to rebuild your mind to understand that business is all about taking risks. And it's very scary because you can't see the other side of that risk until you actually walk through the murky waters of the business entrepreneur. So if you don't know what's on the other side and you can't see and your judgment is clouded, do you still go out there and step on Faith Street? You have to. There's no other choice. There's no other way. You can't go to your 9-to-5 every day when someone's going to help you leave your job with a gold watch and a certificate. We often say JOB means jackass of the boss. And I hate to use that terminology, but I want to apologize for it, because that's exactly what it is. You go into your corporate job and you give someone 20 years of service, and what do they give you at the end in return? They give you a cake that may be 20 minutes long that people actually take off their lunch break and kind of wonder if they really want to come to your party or not. And you gave this company 20 years of your time, and that's how they repay you for all the overtime that you spent, from all the negative conversations, from all the manager bullcrap that you've taken. And you ask me, is business worth it or not? Is it worth the risk or not? Absolutely. I want you to challenge yourself today. I want you to go home after you finish watching this video, and write down some things that you want to do. It may not be necessarily business that you want to jump into right now, but I want you to give it a thought. What is it that you have, a great skill, a great talent that you have that you can develop and offer it as a service to other people that you could potentially get paid for it? In the 21st century, you have to understand that jobs are very scarce. And your life is in the hands of an employer, I meant. Do you want your life and your family legacy to be in the life of an employer? The risk is always, and sometimes often not, as great as a reward that you hope. But the feeling of gratification that you get from taking that risk will be the fact that you will no longer live with regret in your heart and in your life. You will no longer have to go to your gravesite wondering what you could have accomplished if business was meant for you or not. So get up today, write down your ideas, decide what you want to do. Take some time to say, how many hours can I dedicate to honing in on my skills, honing in on my gift? Many people walk around their whole entire life not knowing exactly what their purpose is. Don't wait around till you're 40 or 50 to decide or to understand what your strengths are. We all have a gift that we can tailor, that we can make stronger, that we can offer to other people. When you have a gift, it's very difficult at times to understand that you are skilled in that area. And why would someone pay you? Because it comes so naturally to you. Have you ever thought about that? Why would someone pay me to write resumes? Why would someone pay me to speak? Why would someone pay me to shine their shoes or to detail their car? The answer is very simple. Because that's not their passion. That's not what they care about. That's what you care about. That's what makes it your gift. And that's why people are going to pay you for your gift. So taking risks is challenging. It can be mind-boggling. It can be difficult and stressful at times, but it's worth it. So once you do your homework assignment, take some time to write down your strengths and your gifts and what you're passionate about, and try to figure out what it is that you want to do. And I encourage you to seek some research on your gifts and how you can turn that gift and that strength into a money-making strategy for yourself. All right, that's my time for today. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.